I would say to not focus on other people's journeys and
Mm-hmm.
not to be saturated in all the images on Instagram and
Mm-hmm.
all the before and afters, and just focus on yourself
Mm-hmm.
and focus on why.
This episode is brought to you by Basic Keto Box. Basic Keto Box is a premium subscription box for keto dieters. It offers a wide variety of keto-friendly snacks delivered right to your door. Not only that, with your subscription box, you also get a 30-day meal plan that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, complete with macronutrients in every meal. We have an exclusive deal just for Ketones and Coffee podcast listeners. Receive an extra 20% off with your first month subscription. Head on over to basicketobox.ca to subscribe today. Hey guys, welcome to the Ketones and Coffee podcast, where I bring in guests to discuss their own personal experience with a ketogenic diet. Our next guest is somebody that has failed on her first time on keto. But instead of putting her head down, she took it as an opportunity to learn. Since her restart, she has lost a total of 105 pounds in under 1 year. Let's now hear my interview with Sherri. Hi.
Hey,
Hey, Sherri, how's it going?
I'm good. You?
I'm pretty good. I'd like to start it with, I always say that learning stories from other people inspires me to do what
Mm-hmm.
I do. And I help by sharing great stories to hopefully inspire someone. If
For sure.
if we can help even just one person and somehow impact his or her life, for me, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, so do you have your coffee and everything
I
ready?
do. I do.
Perfect,
Can you hear
perfect.
me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
So I'd like to dive in here in your keto journey. 105 pounds. Wow, that's no easy feat. That's definitely
Definitely not.
a lot to talk about. And when we were talking earlier in the week, and I said you should get a trophy for this, I mean it. This is such an incredible accomplishment. And if you write a book titled "How I Lost 100 Pounds," I think a lot of people would like to know how the hell did you do it, and I certainly want to know. So take me back to the time where you decided to switch to the keto diet, and what was your thought process like?
Well, first, it was going back to I gave birth to my son
Mm-hmm.
and I had gained a lot of weight and I was going through a lot of like depression and like mental health stuff. And the weight, like I just grabbed whatever and the weight kept going on, but I didn't really notice at the time because I was too focused on my son and other things in life. And then I went to my friend's wedding and I was a bridesmaid. So I
Uh-huh.
was in a lot of pictures and I just saw the pictures once they came back from the photographer. And I'm like, wow, like it was such like a trip for me to see that and be like, and then I was like, keto. So I was like reading up on keto because I had a hernia from
Mm-hmm.
having a C-section, and then I couldn't work out. So I looked up different ways, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to try keto, and I had never tried it before. And then that was in July, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really informed. July 2019. I wasn't informed enough. So I went off of it after a few months. But
Mm.
when I started 100%, like went to all these supplement stores and got what I needed,
Mm-hmm.
was January 2020. That was when I started.
Mm.
And I just started doing intermittent fasting,
Mm.
which the lowest I did 16:8. So I fasted for 16 hours and then I ate for 8. And then that's what I incorporated. And then just making sure that I didn't have more than 20 net carbs a day and just focus more on, because I don't have a gallbladder. So I was focusing more on the protein, like eating a lot of lean protein. And then the occasional, like I would have bacon or like
Wow.
avocado or like other like fats, but
Mm.
there's a lot of misconception I find that you have to just pile it on to lose weight on keto. But it worked for me with not doing that, like the coconut oil I would use and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff, but mostly just chicken breast, a lot of vegetables, eggs. So that's what I did. And then, but first I had to deal with like trying to deal with, okay, no, I'm not going to change my whole self. You know what I mean? Because I
Mm-hmm.
like who I am.
Yep.
So I just wanted to change, to be healthier, to run around with my son, to not, to just feel healthier. And so I didn't want to go into the whole diet culture thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I still wanted to lose weight for me, not to be some sort of like not for vanity, you know?
Yeah.
But it's worked out pretty good. I'm not even a year in yet. So it's kind of mind blowing to me that I'm
Yeah.
trying to lose like another like 25 pounds whenever that happens. But I'm a lot less strict with myself now. So
That's good. So you said you started keto July 2019. And how long
mhm.
did that last?
Until Halloween, I went off. I started going back to regular eating, like carbs and stuff, in
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, and then so from October to January, I had gained some weight back, and then January is when I started completely over again.
Oh, okay. So but when you first started, you didn't incorporate intermittent fasting, not after when you had to do it again in January. That's when you um added intermittent fasting, is that right?
Yes, I didn't really know what it was about or how it could help me
Mm-hmm.
before that.
So this is July 2019, and you were doing your research about keto diet, and you found out that it's a high fat diet. What did you think of that at first?
Uh, I thought, well, when I was in high school, if I'm going to take you back
Mm-hmm.
a lot of years, when I was in high school, I did Atkins, and that's
Mm,
like a sort of variant of keto, but it was too hard for me. Like I found constantly eating that way, I didn't enjoy it. But when I discovered keto and I saw that everyone on Instagram and stuff was just like baconators and just like eating
mm-hmm.
like all the fat they could eat, I'm like, oof. I'm like, I don't know.
Sign me up.
I don't know if I could do it because
Yeah,
I don't eat a lot of that usually, aside from if I ate carbs before, you know.
because what we were
But
told that fat
yeah.
is bad for you, and
Mm-hmm.
fat turns into fat. All that comes with because we were conditioned while we were young and in school, and our family around us that you have to have a certain amount of carbs in your diet,
Yes, for sure.
and and fat isn't even a big part of that diet. That's one thing that I think plays a huge part with why people gain weight, and it's not even your calorie intake and how much you exercise. It's not even that. Sometimes it's your genetic makeup, and when you eat a high carbohydrate diet, your body just abundance of carbs that sometimes it doesn't know what to do with it. So that's why it stores into fat, and your insulin spike. All of these processed food will spike your insulin. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know anything about the science. So guys, don't quote me on that. But we are only talking here about experience, and and I told you I would only ask you to speak from experience, and
Yes.
what you've experienced with the keto diet is obviously you're now in a better place. You've lost 105 pounds, which is incredible to me. I don't know. I don't know how you did it. That's why I'm so intrigued. I know a lot of people are. So I was looking at your some of your posts, looking back and when you started. So you have a post that you said, I'm just paraphrasing here, that you look at your old photo to remind yourself of how far you've come. I say this to my wife all the time. When she started her business on Etsy, her first year
Yes.
was awful. She wasn't getting any orders for the whole year when she started. So fast forward to today, she's just racking it up and almost 10 times her sale from a year ago. But people find that we get used to anything we adapt to, and we want more. So I would ask her, do you realize how much you've grown from the past year? sometimes we just had to step back and give ourselves a pat on the back. So at the time, take me back to 6 months into the diet. Why do you think it's important to remind yourself what you've accomplished? Because you've accomplished so much 6 months into the diet, and you've lost so much weight, and sometimes you plateau. Take me back. What's your thought process back then?
That's why I said before that I had to kind of rewire my brain and focus on that aspect of it because you're so brainwashed over the years with all the media and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started this, and other people were noticing, and I noticed when I started to lose weight, but my mind was still in that mindset of, oh, you need to be thin or whatever. So I had to be like, no, let me relax and like take my own time and be my own healthy version of myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So 6 months ago, when I was hitting a plateau, I was kind of had to talk myself out of stopping and being like, no, it's just like trust. My friend said to me, who also does keto, trust the process. And she would tell me that. And I'd be like, oh, I really need to. So when I found a picture from July to, let's say, January, February, like the difference was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't notice because I'm so wrapped up in my day to day.
Mm-hmm.
And then so looking back at the pictures, I'm not like, ugh, those pictures, like some people are.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh wow, like this is real. Like I did accomplish that. So I had to work with myself first, and I did. So I dealt with all my issues about what I went through in high school and college and whatever. So now when I'm hit a plateau, I don't feel the urge to binge or to go off keto. I'm just like, you know what? If I'm going to have something that's not keto, then it's not the end of the world
Yeah.
because you're going to gain water weight. Basically, that's it. And then the next day or 2 days later, you're just going to go back to your regular lifestyle because that's how I feel. If I eat carbs now, I kind of feel a little gross. So then I go back to the keto diet and it didn't affect my life, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I still wanted to eat that pizza and I did. But I didn't go off the rail or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was younger, I would have, because I would have been like, well, it's all ruined.
Yeah.
Whereas now I've matured. So I'm able to go off and have these treat days and then come back and continue.
Yeah, and when you go back to your old ways, I do, and I'm not perfect. I'm gonna go back. Sometimes I'd like to, I love hamburgers, and that's the one thing about me that if I'm going on a trip, I would have a hamburger, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna punish myself for having that hamburger. I know myself, and like you said, when you do have carbs again, you feel like you're not yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
you know that, oh, okay, I need to go back um to keto. You have to be aware of what you're eating, and how you felt after eating that food. When you started the keto diet, I want to go back. When you started the keto diet, did you experience the keto flu?
No, I didn't because
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of research and I made sure that my electrolyte game was on point.
Uh-huh.
And I made sure that I got supplements as well from extra magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, I bought like Gatorade Zero and
Mm-hmm.
BioSteel and all like the brands for electrolytes. But now I just get Neosport and I put it in my water. And it also
Mm.
promotes me to like drink like 96 ounces, let's say, of water a day,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I need. So I didn't get the keto flu. So
Mm.
maybe like
Interesting.
in January, like when I
Mm-hmm.
first started, because I wasn't as equipped.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, I've gone off keto a few times, like for maximum a week.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went back, I didn't have the flu because I made sure to have my electrolytes.
Interesting. So that's one thing too. You said you did your own research. I think before you get into any type of diet, if you want to really be successful, you really have to know what you're getting yourself into. Especially for me, Filipino culture, we eat rice every day. And it's white rice, it's processed rice. We are so conditioned with having carbs as a huge part of our diet. When I started keto, I crashed. My whole body's really sore the next day. It's your body essentially looking for that energy source. And once you get over that hump, um, your body will use fat as fuel. It's your body transitioning into a new energy source, which is fat intake. And so I did my research then, but I it was brutal to me not having carbs in my diet. And it's just we when you don't know about the keto flu, it's so easy to go back to your old habits and say, hey, it's not for me.
For sure.
So intermittent fasting, when did you incorporate that? Was that when you started in January? What introduced you to intermittent fasting?
I had always heard about it because it's been around for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just like, oh, can I actually go this many hours, without eating and then condense my eating window?
Mm-hmm.
And I follow a lot of bloggers and YouTubers that
Mm-hmm.
they talk about calorie deficit all the time. And I was like, well, how can I accomplish keto without, like, with being in a calorie deficit? So I was like, oh, I'm going to try fasting. And then I started with like the bare minimum. And now I just completed a 37-hour fast
Wow.
accompanied with bone broth, which I really don't like, bone broth and like black coffee, electrolytes. And I was okay. I felt fresh and it
Mm-hmm.
was good. But every day is usually, I'm trying to push it to do 18-6.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably eat 12 to 6. I think that would work because I don't eat past 6. Um, I feel like that helps too. Like, even though it's not science that, like, if you stop eating at a certain time, it's
Mm-hmm.
all about calories. But
Mm-hmm.
I just find eating dinner with my son at like 5:30, and then finishing off at 6 with like some sort of snack or
Yep.
something. I feel like that helps a lot. And then that way I could eat earlier in the morning if I finish earlier at night.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to remember back when I started fasting. I probably stumbled quite a bit because you get really hungry, and that just gives me, like, I get hangry, like I get
Mm-hmm.
angry a
Yeah.
lot when I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
You're gonna get that.
So, so now I'm like, oh, I could, because coffee all of a sudden, like, diuretic and everything, like,
Mm-hmm.
makes you full.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're fasting, that's like such an asset. And same with electrolytes, because otherwise you're going to get a headache. You're going to you feel like faint, especially with a longer fast. So electrolytes, black coffee, and then reluctantly bone broth. But I've heard so many keto people love bone broth. So I was like, oh, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
try it, and never again.
Oh
But
yeah.
no, I hate it. But I'm
There.
going to buy chicken broth. I'll probably do that. But
So, first of all, does bone broth break your fast?
no, it doesn't.
No. Mm.
It's 40 calories for
Mm-hmm.
a cup, and it has 9 grams of protein. So that's why
Mm.
people use it while they're doing extended fasts, so
Mm.
that they can go longer. Um,
Interesting. That's interesting.
Sometimes I do what they call a dirty fast, which I didn't
Uh-huh.
understand. I didn't know that was a thing even.
Mm-hmm.
But I drink heavy cream, like a splash of it, with
Uh-huh.
my collagen flavored protein, and that's what I use. And then that technically is, like, I think 75 calories or something. So it
Mm.
would break my fast, but I don't care. I drink it anyway.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. For me, I started OMAD like 5 days
Mm,
ago,
wow.
and I've been doing intermittent fasting. I was doing 16 and 8 for the last couple of years, and what for 18 for 16 and 8, uh I just am not having breakfast. So it's easier for me getting
Hmm.
up and not having to prepare my food. It's so convenient. And so I was reading up on uh Jason Fung. about intermittent fasting and how it helps your uh, overall, like, just reset of your body, and just having water and some electrolytes. Um, when I did OMAD, oh my gosh, it's night and day. My focus, my energy, and it's just my overall feeling. I was just, I couldn't explain it. It's like a superpower when you do an extended period of fasting. Um, and funny enough, when I was reading up on the research of Dr. Jason Fung, um, a lot of ancient religion, like Christianity, Muslims, eh,
Mm-hmm.
all of them practice fasting. Um, you know, uh, you know, different reasons, of course, but essentially just to reset your body. And intermittent fasting has been really popular nowadays. With if you add it with your keto diet, it really helps a lot. Did you when you incorporate the intermittent fasting, did you experience a rapid loss of weight?
I don't, it's such a blur to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
it's hilarious that it's been not that long. I'd say like
Mm-hmm.
11 months,
Uh-huh.
but it feels like such a long time. And so I'm trying to think back to if that helped my weight loss. I know it had to have, because it's your
Mm-hmm.
body's resetting and it's
Mm-hmm.
giving your chance to digest
Mm-hmm.
properly and whatnot. But I feel like it definitely helps me not be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like before, when I was misinformed, I just was like, oh, I'm so hungry. Like, how am I supposed to only have 20 net carbs a
Mm-hmm.
day,
Mm-hmm.
and lower my calories while I'm still like
Mm-hmm.
moving a lot during the day and expelling energy? And so when I incorporated either 16/8, 18/6, or OMAD, which I do want to try, I'm a little nervous. But
Mm-hmm.
when I incorporated that, I was like, oh, this actually helps not feel hungry. It takes
Mm-hmm.
away that feeling.
Yeah.
Um, and also, I'm not as irritable. There are still some times where I'm like, oh, just super salty. But it helps, I find, with irritability and just balance and mood, and just makes me feel like lighter, not in the sense of weight, but
Mm-hmm.
in just like my mental clarity, and feeling like I can go and work out
Yeah.
and not feel like weighed down.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So that helps a lot. But I do want to try the OMAD. Like I've been checking it out, but I'm trying to think of how to get all my calories with that one meal.
Yeah, I think
So
you're gonna
that's
do
daunting.
well. I think you're
Yeah.
gonna do well just because you've done the 16 and 8. And to me, you're just gonna extend it a little bit further and make sure the first time, I the fourth day, I think, I had a headache just
Hmm.
because I think I have a low glycemic, low sugar, because I wasn't having, any electrolytes. I was just, maybe I forgot to hydrate myself that day because I was feeling really great about myself. I was, because your days, when you're so focused on your day, it just flies by. Probably that's probably
Agree.
what happened. And I probably forgot to hydrate myself, but I feel good now. So I did that for 5 days, and now I'm back to 16 and 8, and I feel good. I think I'm gonna do it again to reset, maybe in a few weeks. The feeling I cannot explain. This stretch, I was really feeling sluggish. I was just in a slump. Maybe it's the weather, I'm not sure. But when I got on the OMAD, one meal a day, I really, I was rejuvenated. I felt great. I have so much energy, and I think you're really gonna do well since you've, conditioned yourself to the 16 and 8. Yeah, I think you'll do well.
Hopefully, I will try it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. What was the food that you've really missed since you're on keto?
I'm gonna say anytime I had a treat day, it was pizza.
Mm.
Like ordered pizza, not made
Yeah.
pizza, because if I'm gonna go all out, it's gonna be delivery. And I feel like I've made so many different keto pizzas and they help for the most part, but regular pizza, like I just, it's the best for me. That's what my go-to is. So like every couple months or something, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have pizza. And my son loves pizza too, so it works.
Wow.
um,
I love that you said that because every Friday we do meets up Fridays.
oh my goodness, I haven't tried that yet.
You should. Okay. Disclaimer: I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the same thing, but the toppings really make a difference.
They
Uh,
do, they do.
the toppings. So have the same toppings your favorite on your favorite pizza. Maybe um, it's a lot more filling because the meat
Oh
is
yeah.
so much heavier. And I'm trying to sell you on this, but it really works for us. I don't know. I haven't had pizza in a while. Maybe because we're having pizzas every Friday, and it's my mom and my dad, they live with us, and I don't know. They make fun of they make fun of the pizza, but they always say it's not the same. I'm still working on convincing them to get on this diet, but that's why I'm educating myself now and make and having you on here would I'm learning from you on. I'm still processing that 100 pounds in under a year. I'm still
So am I.
I'm still processing that. If you if I were to I'm sure you're getting questions left and right and how you did it. In under 1 year, losing 100 pounds is really incredible. And if you were to, uh, you know, tell me how you did it in a few words, and what my mindset should be going into it, what would you say?
I would say to not focus on other people's journeys and
Mm-hmm.
not to be saturated in all the images on Instagram and
Mm-hmm.
all the before and afters, and just focus on yourself
Mm-hmm.
and focus on why you want to do this and what drives you. And
Mm-hmm.
if what drives you is something superficial or what you feel forced into,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not going to work, because I've done countless other things and it's just ricocheted and
Mm-hmm.
it just didn't work for me. So
Yep.
now I'm in control of my own life. I'm in control of what I buy in the grocery store.
Yep.
Also having a plan, because when I don't think ahead and say, oh, these are my carbs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or whatever, I'm going to either overeat or
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to not know and I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to be like, I don't care. But if I think, oh, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to have a shake or I'm going to have this with this, and just also knowing that you don't have to get every supplement, because basically your body is producing it for themselves. Like you don't need to get other things to help you with that, but it also is good. Like I take certain supplements that help me feel more energized. Like I see in your sign, ketones and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I've had quite a few ketone supplements,
Mm-hmm.
which have helped me with energy and focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to circle back to what else I would tell somebody, just to stay consistent
Mm-hmm.
and not worry about the scale, because there's that hashtag and NSV
Mm-hmm.
for the reason. Like there's a lot of other victories in keto that
Yep.
don't revolve around the scale. I'm trying to teach myself that as well, because I happen to check the scale too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to work on that. That's something I'm going to work on for 2021, to just focus on how I feel and less of the numbers. So that's what I would
Yep.
tell somebody, especially when they're dealing with plateaus and stuff.
I love that. I love that. Just because um, keto is not just a New Year's resolution. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, and
Exactly.
if you're getting if you're going into keto thinking that this is just a short thing. It's just lose weight. Um, Once you go back to your old habits, you're gonna feel the difference. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, this is a lifestyle change for me now, and I enjoy it. I love it. There's a lot of food that are keto.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of maybe pizza is something that you love, but we could have a version of that called the pizza. But there's a lot of things you can have. Pies, keto pies. There's a lot of
Ice cream.
uh ice cream. There's bakeries.
Mm-hmm.
There's bread, and I know it's not gonna be the same, but you will learn to love it because it's such again, what you said, you feel so good when you're on keto, plus when you're intermittent fasting and all that. um I love it. The holidays are coming, and January, you know um your New Year's resolution, new year, new me. I love how you've stuck with it. And is it gonna be your lifestyle now? Keto. You see yourself being on keto for years?
Uh, I would say that I'm still trying to lose 25,
Mm-hmm.
and however that long that takes.
Mm-hmm.
I can see myself transitioning to maybe lower carb,
Mm-hmm.
like some people do 50 and under a
Yep.
day
Yep.
or something like that, just so that I can be a little bit more
Yep.
relaxed with
Yep.
what I choose to eat. But
Mm-hmm.
like you were saying before, I love going to a bakery, a keto bakery, or
Mm.
like we have a marché tao here in Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
and just they have so many options now, not as much as Ontario and the US, which
Mm-hmm.
still irritates me, but we do have a good enough, like I get this loaf of bread that's so good, and it takes away that craving for bread, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. We still don't have the keto ice creams here, but we do have some of the pizzas like Unbun and a few of the other alternatives. So that I feel like is my
Mm-hmm.
treat in itself, because it's rather expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go and get that or I'm going to do the pizza. I'm going to get
Yes.
the ground chicken or turkey or whatever. I'm going to make that pizza.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And you don't have to be super strict with your diet. You could have, higher than 20 carbs. It's flexible. It's up to you,
Hmm.
however, whatever works for you. And you can always go back to the keto diet. And I, I, I am so in awe with what you've accomplished. I know you're still going, uh, you're keeping this diet to lose 25 more pounds. And I think you could do it. I know you could do it. You've given me so much information about how you accomplished this magnificent thing. I can't wrap around my head around it still, but under a year, it's incredible. And I'm so grateful to you for coming on, sharing your story, and I really appreciate you. And we will. Pretty sure it's going to impact somebody that's maybe um, you know looking to lose pounds, looking to lose weight, and always having to go back to their old habits because they can't get over the hump. And you've shared with us here how you did it and what helped you, going forward with this diet, and what helped you um, in the beginning. And so, good luck with everything. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. And I really, really appreciate you. This will resonate with a lot of people. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
So, guys, there you have it. You've just heard Sherri talk about how she accomplished this big goal by staying focused on herself, her own journey, and happiness. If you like hearing stories like this, make sure to follow us so you get notified every time we upload a new episode.